So today you learned that you are going to be reading a biography. Remember, a biography is a true story about a real person's life, written by another person. Reading about other people's lives can be very interesting. Biographies can help us understand both the difficult times or challenges that people went through, as well as many of the good opportunities and the good times that they had. We're going to listen carefully today and learn about Ray Charles. Your purpose for reading today is to listen about Ray Charles and listen for the challenges or the difficult times that he faced. Make sure you're also listening for the opportunities and the good times that he had. Ray Charles was a world-famous piano player, singer, and songwriter. People all over the world would recognize Ray Charles's face, and they still love the wonderful songs that he wrote. He was a remarkable musician. Remember, that word remarkable means wonderful. But even more remarkable is the fact that he became a musician after he was totally blind. The word blind means that he did not have his sense of sight. He was unable to see. Ray Charles was born with normal eyesight and grew up playing and doing all the things other kids did. He liked exploring in the countryside with his brother, pitching pebbles into a stream, and picking juicy blackberries. But the one thing that he loved more than anything else was music. He loved to sing in church on Sundays. He also liked going to a local restaurant where they had a jukebox, which is a big machine that plays music. Ray Charles would listen to the jukebox for hours on end. When Ray Charles was 6 years old, he became very sick with a terrible eye disease. A disease is a sickness. His mother took him to the doctor, who told her that the disease would cause Ray to lose his sight and become blind. By age 7, Ray Charles was totally blind. If a person is completely blind, he or she sees no colors, no shapes, no light, nothing. If you turn out the lights and shut your eyes, you can imagine what the world would look like if you were Ray. His mother wanted him to be successful in life, despite his blindness. So she sent him to a special school for children who were blind. Ray Charles was determined to learn and succeed in school. The teachers showed him all kinds of ways he could learn and live independently without very much help from the others. It might surprise you to know that a blind person like Ray Charles can do most of the things that people with normal vision can do. How do blind people accomplish all these things? They can learn to use their senses well, particularly if they go to a school for blind students like Ray did. Blind people learn to read with their fingers rather than their eyes with a special form of writing called Braille. In Braille, there are raised dots on a page to represent words. A person can read those words by feeling the dots with their fingers, just like in this picture. Ray Charles' favorite part of school was music lessons, so he learned to use his other senses to become an amazing, remarkable musician. Ray once told somebody that my eyes are my disability, but my ears are my opportunity. That means that even though he couldn't see, Mr. Charles felt very lucky that he was able to hear. Using only his sense of hearing and touch, Ray Charles learned to play the piano. There are 88 keys on a piano, each of which, when tapped, makes a different sound. For most people, it takes a long time to learn how to play the piano really well, but Mr. Charles was able to learn the piano very quickly, and as well as the saxophone and other instruments. Ray Charles' love of music was so much stronger than his blindness. He once told someone, "My ears were sponges. They soak it all up." By this, he meant that his ears were able to hear a new song just once, and he would be able to remember it and play it exactly the way he heard it that one time. Ray Charles' strong sense of hearing helped him develop an ability to hear which notes sound good together. In school, he quickly learned to write his own songs. By this time he left school, he knew he wanted to be a musician. So far, we've learned that Ray Charles was blind, which means he can't see. We also learned that his sense of hearing helped him to become the person he was, which was a very remarkable and famous musician. Over the years, Ray Charles became world famous. He made many records of his songs and gave concerts all over the world. He even met a few presidents of the United States. This picture right here is Ray Charles with President Nixon. He almost always had a wide smile on his face, and as he played, he would stomp his feet to the beat of the music. He would sway back and forth as though the music was moving right up the piano and through his body. Nothing made Ray Charles happier than playing music. He once said, "Music, to me, is part of me. I look at music the same as I look at my blood and my breath. It's something I have to have." I want you to think about what you've learned about Ray Charles. What was difficult for him? What did he love to do? And what helped him to do it? Think about how Ray Charles became blind. And remember, he was totally blind, which means he couldn't see anything. I want you to think about what are some things that would be really difficult to do if you were totally blind. Please go back to Seesaw and complete the lesson.